All right, welcome to the show. I'm Jason Whitlock, and I'll tell you how LeSean McCoy just dropped some serious truth about Colin Kaepernick.
And I'm Colin Cowherd, and I'll tell you why Conor McGregor might have more to lose on Saturday than just a boxing match. Speak for yourself. Starts now on a Thursday.
How many teeth do you think he's going to lose?
More than a couple.
3 or 4?
It's going to be ugly.
All right, hello and welcome. We're joined today by Super Bowl champ Eric Davis and Mike Tyson's former manager, John Horn. Let's start in Las Vegas, where Floyd Mayweather is apparently more concerned with promoting his new strip club than Saturday's fight with Conor McGregor. The fighter is spending every night there, has put the club's name in fight promotions, and is even conducting interviews from his strip club.
It's Floyd Money Mayweather. I was here Sunday. Monday we wasn't open. I was here Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Going to technically Thursday, and I'm here.
Unbelievable. Why are you doing this?
This is my club. What do you mean why I'm doing this? I love my club. This is my establishment. This is my business.
All right, Cowherd. Floyd even says he's going to spend the night before the fight hanging out at his strip club. Is this a mistake for Mayweather? Is he taking this too lightly?
Well, the thing with Floyd is he has never shown up to a fight not committed and in shape. I've watched this whole career. He's always in shape. He's always committed. Now, I know we watch that, and you're like, this is bad. But, sometimes with heavyweight fighters, Buster Douglas was this, and then he was that. Like, when I watch Floyd, the training, the commitment, looks like it's always buttoned up. So I may see this strip club, but I have a hard time believing he's going to show up out of shape.
No, he won't be out of shape, but his sleep pattern will be interesting. Listen, I think people hear, hey, he's hanging out in a strip club. Strip clubs get a bad name. I did some of my best work inside of the strip club, and I say that in all seriousness. Seriously, Derek Thomas fed me the best information about the Kansas City Chiefs from inside Diamond Joe's strip club in Kansas City, and I wrote several columns from Joe Mendocino's office. So I know you can do good work from a strip club, and I have no fear here that Floyd Mayweather come fight night, he can train in a strip club, he can train in a bathroom, in a basement. He's going to whoop Conor McGregor's butt.
It's not, the story is not whether he's at a strip club or not. It's what he's doing there. You're talking about Money Mayweather. He may have a king-size bedroom upstairs or something, a shower and everything else. We don't know what he's doing. Floyd's working this weekend. He has a strip club there that he wants everyone in the world to know about, but I promise you he will not come in that ring not prepared. He'll be ready.
Would you be worried, if you were his manager, though, would you sit him down and ask, what's going on?
At this stage of his career, I would help him do what he really wants to do. He would have that king-size bed in there and the shower and everything else he needs. Get up in the middle of the night if he wants to. He has his own boxing camp right around the corner. So he's prepared, trust me. Floyd knows what he's doing. He will not walk into that ring not prepared.
When has a week in the strip club ever been a good idea? Come on, man, a whole week?
Hold up.
I said a whole week?
It all depends.
You don't even want a week in Vegas, let alone a week in Vegas in a strip club. Come on, man.
I've spent a week in Vegas, and I've spent a week inside Spirit Rhino, and it wasn't a bad week.
Could I say this, though? Boxing is different. Boxing's like skiing or tennis. It's not teammates. It's not, man, you step into that ring. However you get your mind right, I'm not going to question it.
You know what, all seriousness, he's not drinking. He's not a drinker, he's not a smoker. If he's not doing those things, if he's still getting his rest when he needs to get his rest.
Career.
So I'm saying, so if he's still getting his rest, he's still training, it's not gonna affect him at all.
Can you say this? Do you worry, John or Jason or Eric, do you worry that he is distracted and he is an overwhelming favorite? No. You had Mike, people can't, when Mike went into fights as a 50-to-1 favorite, Buster Douglas, he didn't train as hard.
Well, First of
all,
all, when Mike was disciplined and ready to go, there was never no one better. I can tell you that for sure. Their distractions don't bother them as much as people may seem. Floyd knows exactly what he's doing. Believe me, he's focused on his fight. He knows everything else comes from him winning in that ring. Nothing comes before that. What he's doing right now is promoting his place instead of one of those hotels. Everything he's doing right now from his club, he will usually be doing from MGM or wherever he's fighting from. And that's his mindset. But I promise you, whatever he's doing, he's resting, he will be prepared for that fight that night.
Look, high-end athlete, Eric, and you had boxers. there used to be this saying, you save your legs. Too much play in the bedroom would take your legs away. Is that just all a cliche and not true? Can you be overactive in your personal life sexually and have it impact you in the ring?
Shame on you. If that's the case, shame on you. You better get in better shape. That's all I can tell you. Some things have to be done, man. and you got a checklist, that's on the list, okay? So it's not going to affect you any more than you think it's going to affect you. You talk about the distractions. Remember what John just said. Think about going into this strip club. There are no distractions because he owns the place. Nothing's going to happen in there that he doesn't want to happen. Nothing's going to walk up on him. Nothing's going to break out. He's not. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? There's nothing going to go wrong in the place where he owns it.
This is the Speak for Yourself podcast. I am your host, Jason McIntyre. Before we move on, I want to tell you that this podcast is sponsored by Barbasol. The biggest thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream is also the only thing to happen to Barbasol since shaving cream. Introducing new Barbasol razors. The brand America trusts for a close, comfortable shave now has premium disposable razors. Barbasol's close shave technology on every razor means you get an advanced pivoting head and ultra-thin open flow blades. The Ultra 6 Plus razor also features a 7th blade, specifically designed to style those tricky areas like under the nose, sideburns, and beard. Visit Barbasol.com and get a $2 savings coupon and see for yourself why Barbasol razors are the #1 new disposable razors out there. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, to some people taking the fight a little more seriously, ringside doctors who have expressed concerns about the novice McGregor's safety fighting one of the most skilled boxers of all time, Floyd. As the president of the Association of Ringside Physicians told the New York Times, quote, "We're very surprised this bout was even sanctioned and was going to be permitted to carry on." Whitlock, is Conor putting himself in danger in this fight?
You know, I saw this story this morning, and I think it's a legitimate story. I think you're putting basically an amateur boxer. I don't care that he's fought MMA and in the UFC and he's done some boxing training, but you're putting an amateur in the ring with the most skilled fighter perhaps ever. This is a mismatch. The only reason why I don't think I'm not worried at all about Conor's health, I think Floyd's in on this. Floyd will take mercy on Conor at some point in this fight. He will not brutalize him to the point to where he's injured, because that would be a bad look for Floyd and for this entire fight. He will outscore him. He may even put him down, but he's not going to brutalize the guy to a point. It won't be Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, where, you know, they had to throw in the towel and it was just an embarrassment for Ali to even be in the ring with him. I think Floyd will take mercy.
Every fan watches sports, and there was a survey done years ago where 75% of people, high school athletes, thought they could play pro sports if it wasn't for an injury or a coach had it out for them. People don't realize how great pro athletes are. You can go to a golf club. A scratch golfer isn't close to the PGA. You're talking about the best pound-for-pound fighter of all time. This is a pro debut for Conor. Like, this is dangerous. Like, come on now. Nevada Athletic Commission has not sanctioned fights before for people who are actually fighters. Like, don't you think it could get ugly?
Yeah, but hold on. You guys are turning this thing into something like somebody just grabbed Conor off the street and threw some gloves on his hand and said, you're going there with Floyd. Just stop that. You're minimizing Floyd's victory if he gets. Well, Conor is not some rocky guy you just grab off the street. And believe me, the dimensions between a squared ring and an octagon, you take a couple of those corners off there, you get almost the same place. Conor knows what he's doing. This guy got more in him than what anybody's been giving credit for. And when in the world did boxing become more brutal than MMA? I promise you, however Floyd wins this fight this weekend, I guarantee you, Conor had more punishment in some of them MMA fights than he's going to have this weekend. He can handle himself. It's way too far the line. You're taking too much credit from Floyd if he goes in there and get past this guy. He's no regular guy. I don't mean just physically. Conor McGregor is not regular up here, and he's not regular in here. and I'm gonna tell you something else too. Don't underestimate what's going to happen in that arena that night. That crowd is going to be something like you've never seen before in your life.
Pro-Conor.
Pro-Conor. When they come from Europe, Ireland, Britain, or whatever, I've been involved with a couple of them. That arena is going to be totally Conor arena, and I'm telling you, they come in loud. They're not sitting there waiting for Conor to do something to get loud. They're going to help him. So Floyd got a lot to overcome that. Even if he pulls off what you guys saying he's going to pull off, and I believe he will win, it's not going to be easy. No matter, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, but
Man, he's
McGregor is not putting himself in danger physically or from a business standpoint. He's been hit. I'm with you on that. He knows how to get hit. He knows he's a part of a brutal sport. This is a guy that's accustomed to getting hit in his face and taking blows. Now, maybe not at the speed or the pace or dealing with what he's going to have to deal with, the frequency of what he's dealing with, but he has been hit before. He understands. That's a brutal sport that he's a part of.
He's been through things in that ring before, in that octagon. You got to understand something. What he did with Nate Diaz is not small. Nate Diaz beat him the first time. He prepared himself, came back, and overcame that. He's not going to be easy to get out of that ring Saturday night.
Boy, I'd say he's got a lot of conviction on
But
him.
he really does. But just think about what other time do we expect Floyd to just beat a guy up, knock him out, and break him down like that? I mean, and this is a guy, I mean, he's not just a normal amateur. He is accustomed to getting hit. Floyd's not a knockout guy.
Have y'all watched? Floyd is giggling and laughing.
But forget the tape. I'm not talking.
That's distraction. But Conor McGregor knows what that is. Yeah, and Floyd never hit nobody like that either, though. You got to remember something. Floyd has never faced no one coming at him like that.
But doctors tend to know health, and the doctors are concerned.
Well, they should have been concerned when he was getting all that beaten in the MMA fights. That's what they should have been. I'm not concerned about his health come Saturday night. He can handle that part. He will not get his beat as bad Saturday night.
I think of those little dolls with the head.
Bobblehead. He makes a good bobblehead.
That's what McGregor's going to be, a
Sure,
bobblehead.
that's okay. They'll sell that too.
And you think it's okay?
Sure, he'd be all right. He can handle that.
A bobblehead.
All right, welcome back. Eric Davis here, joined now by Super Bowl champ Seth Joyner. Let's move to New York City, where hundreds gathered outside NFL headquarters yesterday to protest what they consider unfair treatment of Colin Kaepernick, who has remained unsigned since becoming a free agent back in March. The rally even drew some celebrities, including Oscar-winning actress Susan Sarandon, who also tweeted her support, quote, "Rally in support of Colin Kaepernick in front of the NFL. Together we win. I stand with Colin. I'm with Cap." Whitlock, was the Kaepernick rally yesterday a success?
It all depends on who's telling the story. You know, I think in ESPN's eyes, it was a dramatic, huge success. Maybe 1,000 people happened to be there. But in my eyes, look, they scheduled it at 5 o'clock on a busy New York street. 5 o'clock during the middle of the week when people are getting off work. You throw a bunch of cameras there, people are going to show up to gawk. So, you know, how many people actually came there to protest? How many people actually were like, well, hell, what's going on over here? And let's go over here and look. I don't, Susan Sarandon's, as I heard you say on your radio show today, she's not an NFL general manager. She's not an NFL player. She's not even an NFL cheerleader. She has no connection to the NFL. None of the people there, I don't think, had any connection to the NFL. I don't see how this was a success.
Well, if a bunch of vegans protested a steakhouse, would anybody care? No, they're not consumers. If conservatives, Republicans, protested MSNBC, would they care? No, they're not viewers. Did you see that crowd? There were poetry readings, activists, Susan Sarandon. Not exactly the upper deck at Philadelphia Eagles games.
Curtis Blow was there.
Okay, and a fencing champion. That's what it says here. All I'm saying is, if you would have looked at that crowd and seen 10,000 people with New York Giants jerseys and and fans, you're like, oh, that's our business. Those are our. I watched that and I'm like, those are activists. Those are people that have protested more than once in their life. That's fine. I have no problem with the protest or his kneeling. But that doesn't feel like to me a groundswell of middle America. And that's what I think leagues fear is, oh my God, 12% of our American fan base is leaving us. That's what stores and TV networks and leagues really fear. I don't think that's what it was.
Those were laid off, occupied Wall Street protesters.
Come on. Come on now. What do you think?
I don't think it was a success. And reason being, I'm looking at what they were doing, and I wish they would move the narrative. This was about, you said all the time, this is about Cap. this rally was about Cap. I think you brought some attention to it, so you can measure the success of it. But I think to say it was successful, you continue the story, and as opposed to give Cap a job, you talk about what Cap is talking about. Cap is not even out.
Was talking.
Well, hold on. But Cap is not even asking for a job. Cap is not saying put me back in the league, as we talk about all the time. He's not asking for a job, so they're out asking the NFL to give him a job, as opposed to the reason that Cap took the stance in the first place. So that's what I thought the rally should have been about the fact that he is protesting for what is happening to, people of color in this country.
Well, I don't think Cap has to ask for a job.
No. I'm saying he's not asking for one.
And I'm not refuting what you're saying. In a lot of ways, I'm agreeing. He shouldn't have to ask for a job, because when he got drafted, he didn't ask for a job. He was just considered, a pretty good. Yeah, but he was invited. Listen, I didn't get invited to the combine. Should have been.
Interviews with teams.
But I'm just saying. Well, but the point is, they asked him to come. He didn't pick up the phone. Hey, can I come to the combine? Hey, will you draft me?
To make sure
No. Everybody thinks that he should step out and say something. Listen, the only thing that they succeeded in yesterday was keeping the spotlight on him. Okay, and as long as the spotlight stays on him, then you're going to continue to have this resistance by the NFL. The only way that this thing is going to come to a successful resolution is for Cap to get a job, for things to calm down, for things to just, mellow out. But that's not going to happen when you have these groups that continue to want to, try to twist the NFL's arm. You are not going to twist their arm into giving this guy a job. A team is going to look at him, and I like Eric's point yesterday about the Dallas Cowboys. A team is going to look at him and say, there's not a better option out there. We got to bring this guy in. That's the only way.
What is Cap's brand today? 2 years ago, it was a football player. What is his brand today? Like when I say Cap, what's the first thing I think? Politics. That's his brand.
No, we made that brand, though.
But
Stop.
He made it. Would you quit?
Well,
listen,
like he has no control.
He took a knee over a specific issue, and the media made it bigger than life.
Okay, but by the way, when you take that knee at a stadium, you have to understand this is going to become the narrative.
I get that.
And that's a responsibility.
I get that.
He did, and he does, and what I'm saying, and that's why I said about this event. This event is not, the narrative is stuck in one place. It's about his protest, it's about the anthem, it's about patriotism as opposed to
police brutality.
What he's talking about. That's what I'm saying. I wish
allegedly was talking about. Now listen, out in Culver City, there was also a protest, and there were a lot of protesters out there as well. I think there's a lot of attention on New York, but look what happened in Culver City at NFL headquarters right here in Los Angeles. I mean, the NFL right now has to be just up in arms.
What looking at me?
What do you do? I mean, the kids. This is about the kids now. The kids are for Kaepernick.
Well, I
stop it.
I still go back.
You need to stop it, man.
This was initially about, at the very beginning of this, the knee, you said, I hope he's thought this out. I don't think he's thought this out. We are no longer talking about police brutality. This is about employment, getting him a job.
Yes.
We're not talking about the message initially has been overwhelmed by this is not just an employment.
But remember, he's not talking about getting a, that's my point in all of this. The rally was about getting Cap a job. NFL give Cap a job. Cap has not once said, you guys need to give me a job, you're doing me wrong.
Yeah, but there's a major shift that happened too. It went from, okay, him taking the knee, talking about what the issues were, and then we moved into the offseason. We knew when he opted out, we knew what was going to happen, that he probably wasn't going to get another job. And now it's playing out. So people want to say, oh, he's not being blackballed, but the truth is he really is.
To Buffalo, where Bills running back LeSean McCoy was asked if the anthem protest is hurting Kaepernick's chance of getting back in the league, and gave a surprisingly candid and reasonable answer.
That may have something to do with it, but I think also has a lot to do with his play. I'm sure a lot of teams will want him as their starting quarterback. And then it's the chaos that comes along with it. I mean, it's a lot. I think as a team trying to win and not have a distraction on the team, and I just think that as a player, there's certain players that can be on the team with a big distractions, and there's other players that they're not good enough or it's worth it. I think his situation is not good enough to have him on the team with all the attention that comes along with it. I'm sure if a guy like, I don't know, if Brady or a guy like whoever's your favorite player, or Odell Beckham, or a guy like that.
All right, Cowherd, will these comments cause a backlash against LeSean McCoy?
Well, yeah, on Twitter. Yeah, on social media. I don't think when he goes home or he goes to his church or something it will. But, I mean, listen, here's what we know happens with Twitter and social media. You either lean left or you're a racist or stupid. Like you can, like you always say it's rigged. You can have sort of one opinion on Kaepernick on social media, or you're a bad human being. So yes, there'll be, and by the way, he says what a lot of us know is, yeah, if you're Tom Brady or Odell Beckham, you can be more of a, quote, distraction. Greg Hardy, we don't like what he did. You're allowed. This has always been, pro sports has always been about your talent and what comes with it. And if you're Brady or Odell Beckham, your talent's so ridiculous that you can kind of get away with stuff. I mean, Odell Beckham's got some distractive qualities. He's Odell Beckham. I thought what he said there was like, yeah, that's kind of what everybody knows what pro sports is about.
I don't even think we ran the best comments from McCoy. He also said, I think the whole Kaepernick situation in this country, you can believe what you want, freedom of speech. I think maybe they could choose a better platform to state their beliefs. Then again, his point is you're protesting the national anthem. You're going to cause a different conversation than the one you're pointing to. And then he says, one thing I've learned about is that people in America, they're followers. There's some people that if you ask about these topics, they'll say what they heard, not what they know.
That's everybody. That's again, very accurate.
My point, and I say it more flippantly and maybe more divisively, but again, it's turned into the ice bucket challenge. Everybody run out and take a knee. They don't know what they're doing. They just know it's the cool thing to do. It's bell bottoms, it's gold chains, it's saggy jeans, it's skinny jeans. It's a fad.
Is he going to have a backlash? Yes, he's going to, because he stated how he felt about it, and is Cap a distraction? Yes. Not from Cap, but from the media standpoint, he will be a distraction because you're going to have to answer the questions, and everything comes into play. You're either, and I liken it, and I know one guy committed a crime, Ray Caruth, he committed a crime. Cap didn't commit a crime, but I liken it to that when you had no choice but to answer a question when there was a murder investigation going on and the FBI are asking you questions. You have to give an answer. With Cap, completely different situation. In that locker room, if something goes on, you're going to have to give an answer. And you're going to end up either being for Cap or against Cap, and either way, you have to deal with it. It's an ongoing issue.
You have to take a side.
And it's going to be one of those things where you have to play at a certain level.
Come on, Johnny.
And bring something.
Here we go, Johnny.
First of all, listen, let me tell you, I love Shady. I know him, good dude. Wrong person, in my opinion, to be speaking on this.
Maybe.
Okay. See,
Why?
He knows.
Oh, he can't have an opinion?
Yeah, he can have an opinion, but his stance. Let me tell you something. I'll say it again. You've heard me say it before. Distractions used by players, coaches, and owners is nothing more than a weakness. Okay. You talked about they have to answer the question. You don't have to answer anything. You got to give a 15-minute. You're required to give X amount of time to the media. And what players always fail to remember is that you're always in control of the interview. You can choose to answer what you want to, answer how you want to, answer when you want to.
Steph,
okay?
what you're talking about, though, those days are gone, man. Those days
No,
are
it's
gone.
not.
Yes, it is, because what
No, it's
happened.
not.
No, the backlash that I'm talking about, we aren't talking about from media, from coaches, from anything. We're just talking about the public, Twitter. When we used to have a locker room, you could answer a question or not because that locker room was closed. Now, not only is that locker room open and they have the cameras right here, they're tweeting out all of this stuff. They're putting it on their website so everyone sees that you didn't answer or you did answer, whatever that you said, no comment. That, well, you won't take a stand for him? That's what I'm saying. You can't pick a side regardless.
My thing is, if I'm in that locker room, at the end of the day, I can pick and choose what I want to talk about. You can tweet what you want to. I'm there to work. I'm only fulfilling my media obligations because that's what's in my contract. It says sit there and answer some questions. I don't have to tell you what you want to hear. I get to tell you what I think. I get to tell you what's going on in here and what's in here. That's it in a nutshell. And the thing that bothers me about this whole, this player, that player, Stephen White had a great article on Kaepernick on SB Nation about a week ago.
Oh,
and I loved it because you know what he did? He put the numbers down. He talked about Cap as a player. He said, I want to do this, and I want to give you film so we can remove the player from the issue. And now that you see that he's not as bad a player as everyone tried to make him out to be, now let's talk about the black ball issue, because that, in a nutshell, is what it's really all about.
Let me ask you, though. When I said I would never put Tim Tebow on my team, and I said that multiple times, Cowherd's anti-Christian. If I say I wouldn't put Johnny Manziel on my team, I've said that. He's a distraction. I said Michael Sam distraction. Josh Rosen 2 weeks ago distraction. Kaepernick's too newsworthy. Are there real distractions? Because what's happened in this conversation is if you call Kaepernick a distraction, you're racist. So I called Tebow a distraction. I think Manziel and his drinking's a distraction. Are there real distractions?
I'm gonna go.
I'll ask you in a locker room. Are there? Can I ever use distractions without?
I said yes. I lived it. I lived through Ray Caruth. Like it was
a distraction.
It was impossible to focus on exactly what you're supposed to be focusing on, football at work, when you're in the middle of the play and you see someone get tapped on the shoulder and they got to go answer questions. You're waiting for them to come ask you these questions. It was a distraction.
But you're talking about murder, man.
No.
Wait, you're talking about murder.
Hold on. Listen to what I said. I said there's no comparison in what the guys have done. Cap has done nothing wrong, okay?
Absolutely.
Ray did something wrong. I'm talking about giving you an example of a real distraction when you have to answer questions.
Let me add this. What he's talking about, let's say there's a police-involved shooting in Chicago next week. Somebody, whatever team Cap's on, it may be Carolina, it may be Dallas. Now they're going to come in, Kaepernick, what do you think about the police-involved shooting in Chicago? And then they're going to go ask his teammates, and they're like, man, I don't want to talk about that.
Welcome back, Eric Davis. Joining the show now, founder of thebiglead.com, Jason McIntyre. Had a good week. He predicted that Kyrie Celtic thing. LeBron James, is he happy, sad? Fresh off a breakup with Kyrie Irving, doesn't seem to be taking it well. LeBron launched an angry rant on Twitter today, going after some random Celtic fans who burned Isaiah Thomas's jersey. Whitlock, are you worried at all about LeBron's mindset heading into this murky season?
You read those tweets as him not taking it well. I read those tweets as LeBron is fired up. He's caping up for Isaiah Thomas. He's putting out all these videos of him working out. He's planning on shocking the world and actually elevating his play one more time. I think I love his mindset based off the rant and based off of him showing some excitement, enthusiasm, and some affinity for Isaiah Thomas. I think this is an indicator, just like I tried to argue yesterday, that LeBron James kind of likes this trade. They did better than he anticipated. They got that draft pick, which they can flip for another piece. I think LeBron's all in on this season.
I think it's the first year in like 12 that LeBron is not the talking point of the league. And I mean,
what are we talking
it's
about right now?
No, it's the Warriors league, and now the Celtics are more interesting, and the Lakers are going to steal.
More interesting than who?
LeBron. You don't think the Celtics are more interesting than that old
Wait, did he just average a triple-double in the finals?
By the way, we know exactly what Cleveland is. We're going to watch this Boston franchise explode. Lonzo Ball, the Warriors. Cleveland's like, okay, LeBron and Derrick Rose and old guys. You think that's fascinating?
You did 2 hours on your radio show
Russell Westbrook and Paul George are more interesting. Next year, you'll watch more OKC game than Cavs games. I bet you will.
No way.
You won't. You won't watch Paul George Westbrook.
It's LeBron James, man.
I've seen it for
He's been to 7 straight finals. He's all we ever talk about ever. It's LeBron James.
And he's happy right now.
Yes.
You worry about his mindset. He's happy. Guess what? He won again. There was someone disgruntled that didn't want to play with him that was under contract, a really good player, that the organization could have said, you know what? You guys shake hands, kiss, hug. You got to play together because we got a shot. Instead, they moved him out, got a pretty good deal for it. Looking at when everyone knew what was going on, I think he's happy. I'm with you on that one, Whit. You see, he's already saying, hey, leave my boy alone. Do you guys understand? He's with me now. I think he's okay moving forward because he is LeBron James. So your team is automatically okay when you have him on it.
Colin, this guy has a billionaire at his whim. He's got a city hanging on every tweet, every Instagram video. People are deciphering the music in his Instagram videos. What does it mean? What is this a message? What's he gonna do? I don't know where you're coming from on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna play a game. Okay, now you have to be honest. You're tired.
I struggle with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so these are remotes, TV remotes. This remote is Paul George, Russell Westbrook, first game next year. This remote is Kyrie rejuvenating the Celtics. This remote's watching Derrick Rose and LeBron.
No, I'm watching LeBron James and Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder.
Yes.
I'm watching that.
Kevin Love, don't forget about Kevin
who else
Love.
yes, and anyone else they add.
You know what? This game, networks, go back to that
I'll tell you
camera.
why. No, because this one's going to the finals. Those aren't.
Colin, don't forget the NBA changed the schedule this year so LeBron would play in games. They're giving teams more rest so LeBron is playing 78, 80
Aren't
games.
you tired of the LeBron Cavs story?
Oh my gosh, it is incredible.
I'm a LeBron fan. I'm over it. I know what they are. Old, can't defend. You really, Jay Crowder's got you crazy.
Aren't you tired of Gisele Bundchen, Tom? Aren't you tired of that? Don't you want to move on to somebody not as good as her?
By the way, you want to know why he works out so hard? Sometimes he gets tired over and goes to the facility.